and the rocket's red glare from our bursting in there. Can it prove through the night that our flag was still there? Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Congratulations, Adam Brown, who did that previous centuries. Illinois was a hub of manufacturing, not only manufacturing tractors and engines, but wagons and a whole lot of this family is the next engine is a Baker steam engine owned by the Peterson family. The Peterson family were one of the one of the next Minneapolis police department, also owned by the Peterson family, one of three Peterson family owned from Hampton, Illinois. It is holding a record as the operator sale to the American public. So the introduction of these machines, the automatic reaper, the automatic thresher, that took brought American agriculture the one-horse farm into the mechanized age, and American farmers began to see more and more of America as we go. Today, America, 2% of the population feeds the other 98% of us. So American farmers have come a long way. Running short of water could indicate a serious problem away. Each daily, a working steam engine consumes 400 gallons of water to work all day. Now we have a series of engines were manufactured at Fort Huron, Michigan. The Fort Huron 1965. You give it back to him? That's good. You lost your shovel. You lost your shovel. Alan, shovel. Somebody's got to catch up with the shovel. He's going to need that. Next we have Bob Ferris from Preston, Illinois with his 1920 Nichols and Shepherd steam engine. Again, on the side of the engine you see 1860. That's the 18 horsepower on the wheels for pulling plows, 60 horsepower at the bow. So a lot of horsepower used up in moving.
I've got Buffalo Spring steamroller sold by the Cruz family out of Illinois. You'll notice that the boiler on this
coyote goes very flat when he comes into the steamroller.
Now we've got another almost 100-year-old engine, a 1919 case steam engine, 65 horsepower, also owned by the Cruz family. It's out of Kirkland, Illinois. This is another steam engine here that's had a great restoration job done on it. They put a lot of hours into making this look really good.
There's a lot of work goes into maintaining these engines to keep it running. They're inspected by the state every other year. They require a lot of tests, measurements, and pressurization tests. So to keep everybody safe, we support all the state obligations. How's the whistle on that one?
Here we got over 100-year-old. This is a 1911 case steam engine, 75 horsepower, and this is Carl and Kathy Coling out of Sycamore, Illinois. You see this has the wheel extensions on the side of it.
I must not look good enough to not whispering at me.
Here coming along is a 1920 Fort Huron 1225, 12 on the axle, 25 on the draw. This is Neil Drummers out of Memorial, Illinois.
Whistle work. Next we have another Fort Huron. Van Brumley, excuse me, I can't read. We have a Van Brumley, he will be from LaPorte, Indiana. The Van Brumley was originally the Advanced Company and the Rumley Company. They merged to make Advanced Rumley, and if I recall correctly, they were eventually bought out by Alice Jones. But the Advanced Rumley engine, this was
sold by Ron Trevor.
Ron.
Here's an Avery, and you'll notice that on this one, this is a boiler on top style axle. Like most of the engines you'll see coming through, it actually has a twisting gear that goes back and forth and pushes the axle back and forth along.
None of these engines go very fast, so the steering linkage was somewhat floppy and loose. So the engineers, drivers constantly moving that back and forth while the engineer keeps the steam up and watches the boiler.
Here's a 1921.
Fourth generation riding yet? No, they'll be behind. Okay, there it is.
Looks like it's fast asleep on there.
Now, already bored with steam engines at that age.
We've got a 1926 Cat Gunnerman, 1825, and an 18 on the axle, 45 on the draw. This is Jay Staley's out of Portland, Illinois. Hey, let's keep them all nine.
We have the Luton's engine from West Chicago, Illinois. The Luton's longtime members of the club and owner of two engines. Luton's an excavation. These have not been used for excavation in a long time, but long time to a participant here at the show. Thanks to Luton for bringing my name.
Looks like we have another vertical boiler coming along here. This is Robert Young from Lombard, Illinois. This is a completely all-built track.
Vertical boilers are different than you see a lot of the installed in the steamroller and it's pulling its own coal pump.
Here we've got John Gould's 1919 Fort Huron, 1965, 19 on the draw bar, 65 on, or 19 on the axle, 65 on the draw. Out of Naperville, Illinois. And again, you can see this has the beautiful cast wheels on it.
John and
Here we've got a 1916 case steam engine, 40 horsepower. This is Charles Hubbard. Hubbard's been around steam show a long time. They're out of China, Illinois. This is another beautifully restored engine. Stop sparks and whatnot so you wouldn't catch your field on fire. Here we got a 1940 Farmall Super 8, William Eschbach out of Marengo, Illinois.
And Bill has behind it is pulling a ditch digger. Vermeer is still in business, but their machines don't look like this anymore. But this was being used to lay irrigation tile on the farm. A lot of the land, especially around this area, was very wet, and a lot of creeks were actually man-made and drainage installed.
Here's a very, very well restored 1935 case C seal by Gerald Linker out of Malden, Illinois. A lot of work went into make this tractor look as good as it does right now.
This is from the Lincoln collection. This is a rare tractor, a Russell gasoline-powered tractor, gasoline and kerosene. They're from Malden, Illinois. They have been coming to the show many.
Here's another part of the Linker collection. It's a 1928 Rumley oil pull, 4060.
Rumley was the first real competition given to the steam engine. Some of the big Rumley tractors actually look like steam engines. Dick Linker's on board, supervising the operation. We're doing Very good. You're in great condition and running well.
Here's a 1924 Runway Oil Full Deep 3060. Steve Green out of Oregon, Illinois. This is running on kerosene. Here's Merle Maynard from Burlington on the General.
Merle really wishes he would have been a general, but we want to track him with the general name anyway.
This is built by the Cleveland Tractor Company. Here's a 1924 Wormley Oil Bull E3030. Looks like that.
Originally, to compete with the steam tractors, they had to make the gasoline tractors look like steam tractors. This is an example of one of the tractors that was going to be competing against steam, but gasoline replaced steam on the bar.
Here's an old Art car, 1930 at 2850 with Jefferson.
Jefferson is son of the previous driver, so family involvement is always appreciated.
Here's a beautiful Oliver. Some of you'll probably see a bunch of these today. They're great. This one, though, very custom paint job, 1946, 30 horsepower. This is a tribute paint job to his father, who is a member of our armed services. Here we got a Ford 8N, 1945. It's 1948. Great restored tractor. Here, this is Cody Peterson. And here's an Oliver Super 44, 1957, roughly 40 horsepower. And a great seat on the back. Best seat in the house. Here we've got a John Deere B, 1949. This is Christy Ristman's out of Yorkville, Illinois. A few great restored John Deere's coming along here. A lot of these used just as a common field tractor. It's very, very popular. Here's a JDH. That's a 1945. Here's a John Deere B. This is Adele Swanson out of Sycamore, Illinois. The John Deere A and B, you'll see a lot of those around here. At their time, they were probably two of the most popular agricultural tractors that a farmer could get, and very reliable. 1948 Farmall 8. Here we got a 1960 Farmall 5. No, this is a Farmall A.
Pulling a little hay rack with no hay on it. Seems like we got
1953. Got a 1953 Farmall Super A, Dennis Lewis, Elgin, Illinois.
If I recall, I replaced the rubber wheels with the steel wheels because it wasn't riding rough enough.
You say safe, Jack. John Deere 50, 1953, 31 horsepower. Tom Raines out of Cal, Illinois. John Deere 70, 1956. Steve Raines out of Sycamore. Another part of his collection. Here's a 1956 John Deere 70. This is Jim Bodie's out of Sycamore, Illinois. Owned by Jason Erickson. Or owned with Jason Erickson. 1952 International Farmall H. Bill Peterson out of Genoa.
Right behind.
Here's a Huber Road Grader, 1945 Ken Sharon out of Princeton, Illinois. This has been amazingly restored. The club also has one that you'll see come through later, but it doesn't look nearly as good as this one. This has a great cab on it, comes out of the front and heat. Put a lot of time into that.
Yeah, great for the winter, too.
The yellow one looks like ZZ Top on it.
Steve Harley's out of Sycamore, Illinois. We have a 1939 Farmall F20. Steve Dombrowski out of Kingston, Illinois. Purchased brand new by Steve's grandfather.
Originally would have run on kerosene because gasoline wasn't too plentiful.
Here's a 1949 Farmall M. Bodie Wrangles out of Kingston, Illinois. Here's a John Deere Diesel 720 power steering, 1957, 58 horsepower, Gary Pitts. Woodruff, that Belgian Illinois style, if you look at the front grill, it's actually got some body work going around it. Some of the John Deere 80 you'll see come through will just be straight for utility purposes, no styling per se.
Back to the next tractor is an example of an unstyled John Deere, just plain covering, open radiator. Wave to the people over there.
Here's a 1941 John Deere Model A, Keith and Brendan Maynard out of Rockford, Illinois.
Next we have Ed Wiesman, pulling out a John Deere Model D. I believe this is still the original paint job. Ed is our coordinate, official of the Northern Illinois Steam Power accordionist, and self-taught musician. Ed's still playing the accordion all these years.
Here's an Alice Chalmers B, 1938, 14 horsepower Matt Woodbridge out of St. Charles, Illinois.
Matt got that tractor when he was 8 years old. He was in grade school, and his uncle gave him the tractor as a present. He worked on it all the year and then brought it to the show next year when he was 9.
Here's a great looking Farmall City, 1948. Thomas Pierce out of Hampshire, Illinois. Beautifully restored. Paint job on it. For whatever reason, they let Blake drive it. Don't know if that's a great idea. No.
Mr. Lewis driving
1954 Case DC, the Luce family's out of Belvedere, Illinois. Great patina on that tractor, as they would say. And here is Taylor's 1950 John Deere 520 from 1957, 38 horsepower. Taylor gets very upset if you call it a 50 or a B. But that's his fault for not putting the markings on it.
Here's the Oliver coming. It's equipped with a corn plow. Back in the day, these fields would be plowed in both directions. Everything was checked in, and the fields relatively weed-free. Today we planted just rows and use a lot of spray. Next we have a John Deere all-wheel drive Gain. All 3 wheels are driven, operated by Bill Carr. 3 of these tractors exist in the United States. Less than 100 were produced.
Here's a 1944 John Deere Model A. Chuck and Judy Smith out of Sycamore, Illinois. Another great restoration job, a paint job done on that tractor. Here's a 1938 Alice Chalmers WC. Steve Fredericks out of Sycamore, Illinois. Here's a 1955 John Deere 40, Ron Richardson out of Marengo, Illinois. Another great restoration job, another great American flag. Be aware, don't talk to them, the Casey's Foundation, they do a lot of really good work. We encourage you to go talk to them. Here's a 1941 Ford 9N, Kenneth Benson out of Cortland, Illinois. Looks like he's working on either getting it all restored and whatnot. It looks great. Here's our 1946 Farmall H. Kenneth Benson's out of Cortland. here comes a 1948 John Deere A late style. This is There's a 1954 8-inch Dale Rice out of Marengo, Illinois. This is not stopped by any means of the imagination. That is a V8 engine on that tractor. And they got a heck of a lot of people